All right, well, we'll get going here a little bit. And I'm assuming we get more people join in as we get going. But like I said, welcome to the first Purple Patch Fitness online band session here. I'm Coach John Stevens with Purple Patch, and we're going to be doing this every Wednesday and every Sunday at 10 Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So hopefully you guys can keep joining us. So basically what we're going to do today is not one of the sessions that is in the squad library, or maybe not one of the ones that one-on-one athletes have been doing, but rather we're going to do a variation of that, kind of a progression from the resilience one. So I see Alexi is on here, and Alexi had the privilege of doing this this session or similar session yesterday as one of my one-to-one athletes. So we're kind of progressing some of the ones that are in there a little bit at a time. And I think the biggest thing to really kind of hammer forward here is the idea that with these band sessions is we don't want to jump into them kind of full bore here. You know, the idea is that, you know, I think a lot of people are kind of freaking out that they can't get in the pool, and you kind of jump in and kind of go overboard with the band sessions, and then people end up with these, you know, wrecking the shoulders a little bit. But basically what we're going to do is we are going to kind of get started with a little bit of a warm up. We'll take a little break just to talk about form, what we're looking for, as well as some variations on how you can use the bands. And then we'll get going with our workout for the day. And then without the bands or how we're using it and how they're working. Okay, and all right, and just to make sure, just double check with everybody, you can hear me okay? Is the video going through all right? Thumbs up. All right, excellent. All right, so what we're gonna do is, I hope you guys don't mind, I'm in my backyard as opposed to my dingy basement, which is where I usually do this. So hopefully it all comes into the focus here, and I'll adjust as we do. So we're gonna do kind of the normal warm up that we do with these Purple Patch band sessions. And basically that's just gonna involve some arm circles, getting things moving, loosening up these joints. So what I generally like to do is I start out just a couple of slow, maybe 5 to 10 arm circles with each arm. Just do 5 to 10 going forward, nice and slow. This isn't where you really want to start swinging your arms super fast. We're just getting them moving and getting the shoulders loose. Kind of switch to the other side. You guys will be able to see, despite my really flexible, they're really not flexible. And as you can see, my shoulder mobility is lacking. All right, let's do the other arm, but going backwards now. Just nice, big, slow circles, just getting moving. And actually, along those lines, you may have seen the Daily Bulletin a few days ago was Coach Matt Hurley sent out some shoulder mobility stretching that you can do. Would be a great warm-up for this, or something just to add to some strength work. All right. Now we're just going to kind of speed it up a little bit with that other arm. Just keep moving, 5 to 10 each side, a little bit faster this time around. Get the other side going. All right, now we're going to throw in some double arms now. Going to get them both going both directions, 5 to 10 each way. We're standing up tall and not slouching like I am. Kind of open it up here. And then I like just to do kind of some of the swimmer stretch here, the Michael Phelps self hugs. Just kind of wrap your arms around your body. Just keep it moving. You could even see swimmers do this one sometimes, but really just swinging the arms, loosening up those shoulder joints, loosening up the upper body a little bit. We really, especially with these stretch cords, I mean, it puts a lot of strain, a lot of stress on those shoulders. We really want to make sure we're nice and loose before we jump right into it. All right. Now you can remember some of the other stretches that we do with that Matt Dixon may have showed you, where we're kind of, it's almost like you're back up against a wall. We're trying to press those arms back as if you're on a wall, stretching out across the chest here, and you'll feel it in the back as well through the shoulders. Kind of pressing back this way, feel that stretch, and then we'll go up into a streamline. Nice tight streamline. You can kind of move around in this and really try to feel like you're getting lifted off the ground and stretch your spine out here. A little to one side, a little to the other, and kind of come back into this position. Stretch it out. We'll come back up. Again, really wiggle around and try to feel like you're lengthening your whole body out here. Also, a nice opportunity to work on your streamlines, squeezing your ears, just like when you're pushing off that wall. All right, one more time. We'll come back and stretch it out. And open the chest up a little. And back up here, streamline. All right, we can kind of shake the arms a little bit here. And just kind of feeling loose and feeling good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about form before we get going. You know, I think one of the big things we see, and hopefully everyone kind of watched the Matt Dixon video that he sent out talking about form with the stretch cords. But the biggest thing really is about making sure you're not doing two key mistakes. And one key mistake is dropping your elbows as you're pushing through. And the other, what we're looking to do is kind of almost mimic that swim stroke, where even with the paddles, you get that elbow up high, nice straight wrist, straight arm, almost like we're trying to catch the water, get that underneath, and then you're pushing through. And the other big thing is we want to make sure we're accelerating, fix my camera here, you're kind of getting all the way through the back of the stroke. Now I'm going to get on my stretch cords here and show you a little bit. Check the angle there. Hopefully you all can see me okay here. So it's right up front. And a lot of the times before I start doing a set, I'll bounce here for a second, just getting my shoulders and my elbows in the right position. And as we pull through, again, you're dropping that wrist, dropping that hand, elbow stays up, pulling all the way through and pushing through the back of your stroke, right through there. So that's really what we're looking for when we do this today. One of the other things I want to talk about real quick as well is equipment and what you use. A lot of the times when I do this, I'll use a weight bench, which you can see behind me, and I'll probably do half the session today using the weight bench and half standing. Standing is good. It creates kind of this stability, and it kind of forces you to work your core as you're doing these motions. The downside of that is sometimes you end up with really tight hamstrings, really tight back. The bench helps alleviate that a little bit. And the reason I like the bench is because you're off the ground and your hand can still travel underneath your body as if you're doing a swim stroke. You know, sometimes you'll see people use the fit ball. The fit ball gets to be a bit tricky because, as you can imagine, it's round underneath and you're not able to pull in the proper swim stroke, and you actually end up outside of your body. And as soon as you get your hands out here, you're going to feel that extra strain and that extra stress on your shoulder. The other thing I do want to emphasize with form, using the stretch cords before we get started, is that on the recovery phase, using these, let your hand just come back up this way. Don't try to imitate a swim stroke, because if you let that band pull, it's going to be applying the wrong type of pressure. It's going to put a lot of strain on your shoulder. So it's pull through and then right back up. All right, so we're going to get started. So hopefully everybody can get on your stretch cords and get going. We're going to do a little bit of a preset here this time around. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 25 double arm pulls. Now with these, you don't need a lot of resistance. You can be a little bit closer, can even be kind of loose at the top of the stretch cords as we get going. This is all about just getting ready on that form, practicing getting into the position, pulling all the way through, and just loosening up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a series of going double arm pulls into some streamlined kicking. So I've got my mat set up right here so we can do a little bit of kicking as well. And you know, again, ideally you're on your back, nice tight core with your legs up kicking. You could also be in a streamline as well, which would work. All right, so we're going to get started. Again, we're going to go through the sequence of 25 double arm pulls, nice and easy. No need to push through these. 30 seconds of kicking on your back, 20 arm pulls, 30 seconds, 15, and we're going to go down to 5 arm pulls and 30 seconds kicking. Now, if you kind of get ahead of me or behind me on this, that's fine. If you want to kind of stick to my pace, that works as well. But I'm going to get my clock going here. All right, so as I said, we're going to start out with 25 double arm pulls, nice and easy, setting up form, and then getting into some leg kicking. And I'm going to do these ones standing for you guys. So again, you don't need a ton of tension. Fix my paddle. You don't need a whole lot of tension on these. Just set it up. Make sure you're pulling all the way through. Doesn't have to be fast. Doesn't have to be super hard. Right now, we're just kind of still getting loosened up a little bit, getting the motion going. Nice flat back. Don't want to be hunched over. Again, don't want to be dropping the elbows. You don't want your hands getting ahead of your elbows as well. So keep those elbows up as you finish all the way through the back. We're doing 25 to start. And to tell you the truth, I've lost count. So I do a few more. Here we go. And we'll go into 30 seconds of kicking. And if anyone's following along with me, you can start right now. I'm at the 20-second mark. And that's 30. Again, kind of our rest in between here. Take your time moving between the two movements. Catch your breath a little bit, getting your stretch cords set up, and that can be the rest between the pulls to the kicks. So now we're moving down to 20 double arm pulls. Again, nice tight core, flat back, and just some nice solid pulls right now. No need to really accelerate or do anything hard. Nice and slow. Just getting that feeling. If you'd like and you're kind of feeling good as we kind of work our way through down to the 5, you can take a step back and add a little bit of tension as we get going. Okay, and after we get through 20, then you can kind of take your time, getting down for the 30 seconds of kicking in between here. All right, we're going to do 30 seconds of kicking starting now. Okay, and that is 30. Now we're moving on. 15 double arm pulls. Again, and if you'd like to add a little bit of tension now, as the number starts, you can take half a step back, add a little bit of tension. But even with the added tension, try not to rush through the pull or rush through the stroke. Really, again, we're setting up good form here as we do these. We're down to 15 now. And to keep that right hand under the right side of your body, left hand underneath the left shoulder. We really make sure we're not coming out too wide. All right, after 15, we'll get down and do our 30 seconds of kicking. Starting right now. Okay, and stop. All right, 2 more rounds. Down to the 10 double arm pulls this time. All right, so 10 double arm pulls. Again, make sure you're finishing all the way through the back of that stroke right up there. Don't want to stop here at the hips, through past the hip. We're only doing 10 this round. And we are getting right into our 30-second kick. We'll start that 30 seconds of kicking right now.
Wait, should we get to everybody that doesn't like do the undoing motion?
Okay, and that is 30 seconds right there. It's our last round through. We've just got 5 arm pulls. Good. You can do a little bit harder pull through this time around. My son sticks his head in there. Hey, buddy, why don't you go inside? Go, please. All right, 5 arm pulls this time. And again, you can try to accelerate through a little bit more on these. Feel the tension. And we will go right into our last 30 seconds of kicking. Okay. We will start that right now. Five more seconds. And that is it. All right, so we've done our warm up. We'll call that our pre-main set right there. We'll take a minute. If anyone wants to grab some water, grab something to drink, now's a good time. Also a good time just to kind of keep shaking out your arms, feeling good, and taking a little rest there as we'll get ready for the main set. Now, as I said, this main set is going to be a bit of a progression from what we I think titled Swim at Home session was resilience, and this again is going to be a bit of a build on that. And what we're going to do is we are going to do 10 double arm pulls, and again on those we don't want to be super. It's more about setting up form. You can just think maybe like 70% kind of in that effort range where we're not pulling through super hard. We're setting up the form. We're feeling good on those double. We'll take 20 to 30 seconds rest. Then we're going to go into 20 single arm pulls. And with the 20, honestly, what I prefer is that if we're doing these 20 as if you're swimming. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're kind of feeling risky or bored, you could just kind of focus on one arm at a time before going to the other. But I find that does kind of put a lot of stress on the shoulders, especially as we're getting going with these sessions. So we do 10 double, nice and slow, nice and smooth through here, into the 20. Now the 20, take a step back, add a little bit of tension. We're going to be putting a little more pressure on those, trying to really get through on those single arm ones. So the emphasis is on the single arm. Take 20 to 30 seconds rest. Then we'll go back to 10 double arm. A little more rest, then we're going to do 30 single arm. So it'll end up being 15 each arm. 10, 40 single arm, 10 double, 50 single arm, 10 double. We're going to go up to 60 single arm. At that point, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And this is kind of a point where I want people to kind of do a kind of a self-assessment, see how they're feeling. We'll call this a break point. So maybe if you're time starved, you need to get going, or if you're already feeling like you've kind of got those shoulders worked in, that's a good kind of stopping point to stretch it out. And then what we want to do though is we want to go back down the pyramid. So 10 double, 50, 10 double, 40 single, 30, all the way back down to 20 single. And if you are like my athlete Alexi, who's on here and feeling extra special to make it a true pyramid, you could add on the 10 double. She kind of got on me for that the other day. So all right, so we'll get going in a second. Everything's about 20 to 30 seconds rest as we work our way through this. Again, the emphasis here is we want to be a little bit harder, more power on the single arm pulls than the double. And I'm actually going to get on my bench for these, kind of give my back a little bit of a break so you can kind of see how that works. And it kind of mimics the stroke and it kind of lets me work in a little bit of rotation at the same time. All right, so why don't you guys get set up? I'll grab my stuff and I will kind of count through these. Again, if you kind of get ahead or you get behind, you know, you can do this at your own pace as well, if you'd like. So, but I don't think anyone would complain about a little bit of extra rest if I'm going a little bit slower than you are. All right, so I'll get set up and we will get started again. 20 double into 20 single, or 10 double arm, excuse me, into 20 single arm. Remember, the emphasis is on the single, the double arm, kind of like what we were doing in the pre-main, really setting it up for good form. So we'll get started with 10 double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Take 20 to 30 seconds rest here. And if you want to add a little bit of tension so you can get a little bit harder, if you're standing, good opportunity here. Take a step back, a little bit harder on the single arm, and then step forward for the double arm. And again, it's 20, and we're alternating arms as we go. All right, we'll get going here. All right, 20. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Again, make sure you're pulling all the way through the back here. All the way through. Take another little rest before we move on to our 10. And if I get too tired, you guys might have to count for yourself on some of these. All right, 10 more double. Take a little step forward if you took a step back. Again, this is setting up the form. A little bit lighter effort. 3, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so now we are up to our 30 singles. So we'll end up being 15 each arm. A little more effort on these. Accelerate through your pull and make sure you're driving all the way past your hip on these. All right, we're gonna do 30 of these. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30. All right, get our rest. Making our way up the pyramid here. All right, we are on to our 10 double again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'll let you guys count on your own. I'll tell you when to start and take a little, and then we'll have a solid 30 seconds before we kind of work our way into those 10 double again. And I'll keep counting the 10 double just to kind of keep us all in line. But all right, here we go. Let's do 40 single arm now. A little bit more effort. Go ahead. You can see here, number 2, imagine like you're swimming with a snorkel on, so we're not bobbing all over. Don't kind of drop your chin down, and also you don't want to be looking straight up and putting that strain on your neck. Nice neutral head position. All right, let's get going. We've got 10 double here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take our rest. This time we're getting up to 50. So getting up, you should probably be feeling a little bit of strain in the shoulders. This is where it's really important to think about that form. And if you're not able to hold form, take a step forward. All right, we would rather have better form than more effort. Okay, just a second here. We'll get started with our 50 single arm. Again, I'm gonna let you guys kind of count these on your own, and we'll reconnect on the 10 when we get done. But all right, let's go through 50, starting right now. Okay, so everybody should be finishing up just about now. We'll take our 30 seconds rest. And we will hop into our 10 double before we do our 60 single. And at that point, we'll take a step back and take a little rest after the singing, 60. We'll get going in about 10 seconds, and we'll do our next round. 10 double. I'll count you guys off on those. All right, 10 double, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, we'll take our rest, and now we're up to 60 single arm, 30 each arm, and after this, we'll take a little break. All right, we're gonna do 60. Once again, let you guys count on your own. I'll see you on the other side. Here we go, 60 single arm. Go ahead. All right, we'll take a little bit of a break here. Take a good opportunity, come over here. Good opportunity to get some water, get a little bit of rest. Check this. Ooh, good question. Just asked, any cues to help relax your traps? Well, that is a good question. I mean, that's one of the things I think everyone's going to notice with these stretch cords is you're going to feel it very quickly through your lats, through your traps, through that whole area. The most important thing is on form and two, not overdoing it. If you're really starting to feel that stress, you know, I think it's time to either take a step forward, reduce the tension as much as you can. I know sometimes you kind of reach that point where you're not getting the tension. You don't want it so loose that you're not getting any pull or any tension at all until you get back. You want to have that tension at the top, but it's really, you know, it's just about keeping that elbow up, pushing all the way through with good form. And I mean, that's the thing is you're going to feel it. And that brings us to a good point right here where I'd say, you know, this is a good opportunity to do a little self-assessment, see how you're feeling, see how tight you are, decide if this is a good opportunity or a good place for you to call it a day, to stretch out a little bit and really get a good stretch on those lats and those triceps. You know, I think also what we could do is if people are feeling strong, we go back down through our little pyramid here, going 10, then 50, 10, 40, 10, 30. As I said, after we get through that, I will definitely sit around and answer any questions about anything we did today, about the stretch cords, and about any of that stuff moving forward. We'll take another few minutes here and just make sure, is there anyone that is going to move forward with me here? Am I the, okay, there we go. At least I got one. Perfect. So we'll take a little bit of a break for a minute. And again, take this opportunity, stretch out those lats, stretch those triceps. That's where it gets really tight. Swing the shoulders out a little bit. Just get nice and loose before we come back down. Hopefully it'll get easier this time as we work our way back down. And sorry, Alexi, I'm not going to do my extra 10 at the end. You can do them for me. All right. I'll make my way back over to the cords here and we'll get started. Again, 10 double, and then we're gonna go right into 50. So we're not gonna repeat the 60. We're gonna go back to the, back down this time. So back down to 50 single arm. And again, the pressure, take that step back on those single arms is where we really wanna be putting in that work. But again, form is everything. Keep those elbows up and pushing back. Really get almost like you're getting that purchase on the water and right through. All right, I will make my way over. All right, so again, I'll count us through the double to keep us together. And then I'll let you guys kind of go for the single on your own. But start out with these 10 double. Again, this should be the lighter part of the session, definitely more form focused and setting us up for those single arm efforts. So we'll start with 10 double. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll take our rest. Again, if you're still feeling pretty tight from that first round on these 50, if you want to take a step forward and kind of loosen up the tension a little bit, and then you can kind of work your way back as we work our way down the pyramid, that's always an option as well. All right, so we're going down to 50 single arm, 25 each arm. I'll let you guys get going and do that on your own, and we'll catch up at the end of this 50. Go ahead. All right, I think you should be just about finishing up here. We'll take our full 30 seconds for sure, because I know I need it. And then we will get into our 10 double arm. Get started in about 10 seconds here. All right, 10 double arm. Here we go. Start with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take our rest. Working our way back down to 40 this time around for the single arm. Again, nice stable head position. Make sure you're not starting to kind of lose a little bit of that strength in your lower back. Keep that nice and strong through the core, flat back, shoulders up. All right, let's do 40 single arm on your own. Here you go. Start it up. All right, we should be finishing up about now. Take our 30 seconds before we get into our 10. Again, as you're getting tired and your triceps start hurting a little bit, make sure you're still finishing all the way through. Push those paddles right through your hip at the end. All right, so we'll do 10 double arm together here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, get our rest down to 30. So we only got a couple more rounds here. Those cues, nice high elbow up front, wrist under elbow, hand under wrist. Keep that elbow up all the way through and pushing all the way through the back. All right, we got 30 single arm. I'll let you guys count your own. Here we go. All right, almost there. Take a rest. We've got 10 more double and 20 single, and then we'll kind of shake it out a little bit. Some stretching in to close it out. All right, let's do this together. 10 double arm. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, little rest, and we will have our last set of 20, and that will be it. Start in about 10 seconds. All right, 20 single arm on your own. Go for it. All right. That is it. So right now, like I said, let's take this opportunity, swing those arms around a little bit, shake it out just a little bit, back and forth, a little bit of a tricep stretch on each side. The other side. Overhead. Yeah, I'll let you guys kind of keep doing that. I'll grab my chair here. All right, so for For all of you that made it all the way through, thank you and congratulations. So that was pretty good for our nice first session. As I said, we're gonna be doing this every Wednesday and every Sunday. And that is the plan, to keep going, and we'll kind of go off book a little bit and mix it up so you guys aren't always doing the same thing that is in the squad program or that you may be getting from one-to-one coaches. But like I said, try to mix it up and keep it interesting. So I guess right now, let's kind of finish it up. If anyone has any questions about the chords, about any of this stuff, this is a perfect time to ask, and happy to try to answer them as best I can if anyone has any questions. All right, well, looks like everyone's good. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And thanks for joining me. And again, I'll see everybody on Sunday, I hope. All right, talk to you guys later.